Incest.
or incest.
You have to think about
Don't
birth
even want to
control
go there.
pills. There's a lot of
Yeah,
ways you
birth
can.
control. Whatever method of birth control does not work. Pill, condom, whatever. I mean, what would happen to them? Like, how would they pay for it?
So, with you utilizing a private insurance company to access abortion, how did you feel when you first found out like the language of this amendment and found out that it got passed?
I was shocked and very disturbed, because I was like, oh my gosh, it was only a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? Like, this could easily pass, and I could easily be in that same situation. I wouldn't be in the same situation, but someone that was in my situation, if this passes, what are they going to do?
Right.
What are they going to do? I was so lucky that, I was able to, access this through private insurance. But man, if you're not able to, and you have private insurance that, you're paying into every month out of your own money, and you can't get health. I'm sorry, we have a caller.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, my name is Wow. I'm listening to you speak, and I hear that there's an amendment that is, I think Obama pushed it, this amendment. Am I correct?
I'm sorry. I can't you're kind of
I said
muffled.
I believe there's an amendment that Obama is trying to push that you all are talking about, right?
No, not Obama. There's been an amendment passed in the United States Congress.
Okay, the Congress is pushing an amendment.
Right. They created this amendment when they created their version of the healthcare reform bill.
And this will put sisters or women in general in, I guess, in a detriment, right? Because now they're kind of trying to stop you all from being able to get abortions the way you have been getting them, so you will have to resort to doing them on your own, is what you're saying?
Basically, I mean, a woman can be put in that situation because if a woman has private insurance and her insurance covers an abortion, this amendment will prevent that from happening. So if they pay for their private insurance, normally like most people do through their payroll check, or if they choose to work with private insurance companies and they're self-employed and buy insurance, this amendment is saying, okay, with your insurance that now covers abortion, if this amendment goes into the healthcare reform bill, then their insurance will no longer be able to cover an abortion.
So women could possibly die from doing their own so-called botched-up abortion.
Yeah. Exactly.
I see. Well, I am sort of sympathetic for the sisters who are raped or who deal with incest, but not sympathetic for the women who freely give themselves to a man, and then they have an issue with the man later or something, and they decide to kill the child. So what I see is retribution and karma coming back from the Most High.
Okay. Yeah, we're not advocating, we don't want women to necessarily, we're not out here saying all women should have abortions when they become pregnant. That's not what we're trying to say. That's not what we're about. We're about women women being able to make their own choices
based on
with
their personal
bodies.
situations.
Exactly. So, I don't know what to say to the last caller.
Every situation is different.
Every situation is different.
Every person's life is different, and ultimately everybody has to make their own personal decision. We just feel like if a woman chooses to have an abortion, that's her choice, and she should have it.
Or if she chooses to continue with the pregnancy, that's her choice. We're all about choice here, not about,
personal situations. That gets very iffy and very crazy. We just want to be able to support women in any decision they make for whatever reason, because we're not in their shoes. We do not live their life. So ultimately, they have to make the choice that's best for their life and for themselves.
One thing I wanted to, just because he brought that up, it's just really funny to me how it's like mostly, I'm not dogging men or anything. I'm not a male basher or anything like that. I love men. But it's just really interesting to me that it's mostly men that seem to be more anti-choice than pro-choice. I don't know. Am I using the right words here?
I don't know if it's most men. Maybe a lot of men don't speak out about it. But, sometimes men can be vocal around being pro-choice or anti-choice. That is true. And some men really strongly support it. So, I don't know. I don't have any statistical figures to support that. But
we have another caller.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I did agree that it is a woman's choice, that a lot of times that the woman has the majority of the responsibility, whether planned or unplanned. The males seem to have a free pass on the well-being of the child. So the law is set up basically for women to take responsibility. So I kind of commend what you're doing. It is saving women's lives. We don't want to go back to the old days where you had to go in a back alley and women were risking their lives. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your support, and you brought up a great point. Women will resort to what they have to resort to. If they feel like they need to have an abortion, they cannot carry a pregnancy to term, they do not want to have another child, they will go back to back alley abortions if they have to. They will go to botched procedures. If they cannot afford it, they will make do with what they have. And we don't want that. That's not fair. That's not protecting women. That's not giving women empowerment. That's not creating a bill that's all-inclusive of men and women. So, again, we really, really, really encourage you to contact your legislators, mainly your Senate, your federal senators. In Illinois, it's Roland Burris and Dick Durbin. We encourage you to contact them and tell your story. Look, my mother had a botched abortion. We don't want to go back to that. That's just an example.
Exactly. I'm going to go to the overhead again. We've had a lot of calls about being able to contact us. So
there's our information.
Chicago Abortion Fund. You can write to us, P.O. Box 2751, Chicago, Illinois 60690. Number is 312-663-0338.
And again, if you need any information, you want to talk more about this issue, you need information on why you should contact your legislators, please, we don't want to see this kind of language, this kind of amendment in the Senate healthcare reform bill. So thank you for tuning in. Good night.
Thank you.
Have a good night.